Lowell Factory System was an operation developed and implemented in 1814 by Francis Cabot Lowell, a very wealthy man and owner of the Boston Manufacturing Company. The Lowell Factory System's main purpose was to efficiently increase the manufacturing rate of cotton textiles by housing all the machinery required in one building. This system of production was so effective that it was adopted all throughout the cotton industry, effectively establishing integrated spinning and weaving factories across the nation. The spontaneous increase in the textile industry led to a large-scale growth of commerce, making the cotton textile a key part of the Industrial Revolution. This new surge in industry spurred the American economy to reach new heights never seen before in America. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, the American economy was geared towards agriculture and the shipping of raw cotton to foreign nations. This resulted in limited local production of finished textile goods in the nation, and increased imports from European nations, such as Great Britain. The localization of the textile mills brought the economy from Europe to America. The economic advantages that the Lowell system produced created thousands of jobs, usually for young, unmarried women, often referred to as mill girls. The use of technology such as the steam engine additionally aided in leading to the rapid expansion of larger and more efficient textile factories. With these larger factories, more abundant quantities of goods came about, and the infrastructure required for trading such large quantities of goods was developed in response. The Lowell Factory System had shifted the market into the hands of America.
Lowell targeted the often well-educated population of New England, and the wages attracted young unmarried women. The reason for using young women was because they were cheaper to employ than men. The wages were paid in cash and were pretty good for the time, though the laborers worked 12-hour workdays, 6 days a week, totaling more than 70 hours a week. That's roughly 30 more hours than the average worker works today in America. In addition, the implementation of new technology potentially created a hazardous work environment that could cause injury or even death to operators. With harsh working conditions and long hours, laborers would often go on strike, especially whenever wages would be cut. The Lowell system was revolutionary for its time because there was a focus on employee improvement. In 1811, Lowell journeyed to Britain to learn about the textile industry, and during his visit, he saw how poor workers were treated as well as the many flaws in the industrial systems that were in place. Lowell realized that the workers were the lifeline of the factory and had decided to implement programs for the workers to better themselves. The education provided by the Lowell system came after the long and monotonous workday, which inhibited many laborers from ever taking advantage of it. Not only were workers educated, but they were also only employed for a time of a few years to prevent a permanently unchanging class of poor people. The laborers were always hard to please, but the wages were generally good for the time, meals and housing were provided, and educational opportunities were granted. Even with the actions taken to better the lives of the workers, conditions were still bad, as the workers were too tired to take advantage of the opportunities provided to them.
The Lowell system brought British-style manufacturing to the United States, and the American economy prospered as a result. Cotton would no longer be sold raw, but as finished goods instead. The Lowell system also employed thousands of young women and even empowered some to acquire better jobs, such as school teachers at the end of their manufacturing jobs. In the not-too-distant future, there would be a mini-depression due to textiles being overproduced, causing an economic panic. This panic would accelerate the deterioration of working conditions and wages, greatly upsetting many laborers. These conditions created radicalized labor movements, which would often go on strike to better working conditions. These labor movements failed often and consistently, though, and it would take many decades to create decent working conditions for the common laborer. For its time, however, the Lowell Factory System had created some of the best working conditions that could be found in factories around the globe.
Azrael.